Whoa, oh, whoa, whoa, oh, oh, fight, fight, fight. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, fight, fight, fight. Listen, folks, hey, we're back with it. We're back with it, guys. I know you missed me a little bit yesterday. We had some technical difficulties with the internet. They tried to play around, but listen, you cannot hold Money Montgomery down. You should know it. You should know it. You should know it, guys. Listen, guys, we're coming in with a prep, basically a closeout of this week, but kind of preparation for the next 6 days. It comes next 6 business days, and that's a significant point. Why, you might ask? Well, for those following AMC and involved in AMC. We will be having our earnings report, which kind of there's a lot of expectation for us to have some beats on that earnings report, which is a good explanation for why we went through such fraud and synthetic push down, because there might be a little push up coming from the earnings that are going to come out. But like I said, just another day in the most fraudulent, scammingest stock in the market. But we got some good things to cover, some nice XRP news as well. Like I said, guys, the yacht, I'm already pre-creating my yachts. Like I said, that's a shoe-in. That's a shoe-in victory, guys. We're beating it. We're ahead of the money. Big money's in here, but we're ahead of the utilization. We're ahead of this being fully incorporated, but we can see all the parts coming together on that, guys. Without further ado, let's get down to what we came here for. But first, somebody cue that wind effect. Yes, sir. Bring it in. Bring it in. You got to believe it. You got to believe it. You got to believe it. If you believe it and you see it, then it might be. All right, come on, bring it in. Let's get down to it, guys. Without further ado, let's tap down and we're going to touch with Charles Pizzle. With expectations, the Charles Payne and his guests are talking about the stock winners at the current moment. And like I said, y'all already know big tech is all up in that thing. So, hey, let's get down to it. Yeah.
All right, well, the stock market continues to gain traction. It's broadening out. But listen, the main thrust continues to come from technology and communication services. They have become rocket ships. It's like the higher they go, the more speed they gain, and they escape the laws of Earth's gravity. In fact, it's not unlike this rocket that NASA is going to send out later on this year to an asteroid called Psyche. They hope eventually to mine it for vital minerals like lithium, even gold. Take a look.
We're going to the future, guys. We're same with all these pop-ups of UFOs, things like that. I've always been a believer there's no way that we're the only creatures when there's a million, billion versions of our exact galaxy that we look up. And guys, for anybody that doesn't know, if you look up in the sky, when you see stars, that's a sun of another galaxy that has the exact replica of some shape or form of Earth. But here we are becoming extraterrestrial, but some people think it's just, oh, there could be nothing else out there that could be extraterrestrial as well. But nonetheless, guys, crypto, we're going to the future. You want to see the Jetsons? Well, let's bring the Jetsons.
After launch, we cruised through interplanetary space for a number of years. First, we fly by Mars for gravity assist that'll slingshot us into the asteroid belt. And then we're thrusting all the way from there to finally arriving at Psyche.
All right, so forget about the sky being a limit. I mean, can this rally really go into even higher orbits? I'm going to bring in now Satori Fund founder, portfolio manager Dan Niles. And Dan, we got a lot of important earnings this week.
Dan, don't let us down now. Don't
I'm
let
going
to
get
Dan.
sort of a general assessment from
I
you.
already
But
don't
first,
like the comb
I want
over.
to start with the areas that you specialize in, this tech, communications, the winners and losers.
Well, I think you're starting to see during earnings season, generative AI, every stock went up. And now companies started to report, and you've figured out that, well, it's helping some, and it's not helping others. Or it's helping you, but not enough to offset the issues you have somewhere else. And, I think Microsoft's a good example of that, where obviously they have a massive ownership in OpenAI, which produces ChatGPT, but Azure, which is where that sits for their efforts, that slowed down. It grew 31% year over year in March. It then grew 27% in June. But interestingly, even with AI contributing more to growth, they're forecasting 26 to 27% in September. And so while AI may be driving a good portion of their business, everything else is slowing down enough where the growth rate is slowing some more. And they guided below the street for intelligent cloud, which is, bigger subsegment of that. So I think with valuations where they are, that's why the stock went down. And, you've seen that with other names that have come out too, obviously. Accenture, TSMC, we can run through a whole list, but that's why you have to separate it.
And then I saw where you tweeted that you went ahead and closed out your Microsoft position, but you were the first one on, at least one of the first big names on the street I saw on the Meta train. But almost every single day, here's a new upgrade. Of course, this is long after you saw the upside potential. So I want to ask about the the business there, what's going on, and more importantly, everything seems to be clicking, even Reels. But ironically, the metaverse part of this is still problematic for a lot of people. Is it far-fetched to say, should they consider even dumping that idea?
Guys, and there should be a clear understanding. Like I said, I'm not a massive fan or understander of the metaverse. Just like I said, it's a lot of like buying real estate on the metaverse. Like I said, I love innovation, but the AI and the metaverse are two different things. AI is a practical thing that's been implemented. Metaverse is something where they're trying to, that's still an idea that is being populated. AI is something where you can take AI right now and affect your life or be more productive from point blank. AI, whether that be marketing, whether that be it writing scripts for you, whether that be it writing sales pitches for you, things like that. AI is here and AI is here to stay, which is why it's continuing to live and continue to climb. Because like I said, this is far from what the max of AI is. We haven't even scratched the surface of what that is. Like I said, those are two different things to the metaverse and AI. Just putting in my personal opinion.
No, I don't think they should. And so in terms of who AI is helping, Meta is using AI to help recommend videos to people. And so if you look at Reels, which competes with TikTok, September of last year, they were doing about a $3 billion run rate business. Now with sort of this AI recommendation engine, they're doing a $10 billion run rate business in that. So that's really helping them out. Now, we can argue about Reality Labs, but for big companies, they need big bets on different areas. And this is one that they're looking at. And don't forget, there's another big company that people have heard of called Apple, right? And they're making their own bet on that.
I'm not even going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I say it too often. I'm not even going to say it.
With Vision Pro, which, by the way, those glasses are
the greatest generation of wealth transfer is underway.
So that's 10x. What
Don't miss out on these bangers.
Charging for, obviously, not same functionality, much lower functionality, but it's a lot more palatable to spend $350 to kind of check out some glasses from Meta versus $3,500 to check out the Lamborghini of glasses from Apple. So I think it's a good idea. They can always cut back spending, Charles, right? It's not like they're going to do this forever if it doesn't work. But with a lot of these markets, you have to be in early, develop the capabilities, and then, decide how much more you're going to spend going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's a major sell to where they eventually want to get. Everything. So I get where you're coming from. That just seems to be a sticking point for some of the folks who follow the stock. Other than that, again,
Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Nvidia. Who are the winners? Through all the people, some people are like, I don't think tech's gonna. All right, guys, your tech, so you can have some tech with your tech and tech. This is how you're gonna levy your money through these markets that are gonna come. We all know there's about to be financial instability that's coming as we shift to these CBDCs and digital currencies, guys. The buoyancy of tech is nothing compared to anything else as far as retail, the housing market, any of that.
Again, they're actually made some major adjustments. The maturation of Zuckerberg has worked out very well. I got to ask you about a stock doing well today, in fact, Intel. Apparently, the company's saying that the worst is over. I've kind of written them off for a long time, but you like this company. You say it's also getting a boost from AI. So this is now an AI play as well?
Well, I mean, AI play to some degree. Don't forget, we put Intel as a top 5 pick earlier this year. And if you look at the performance, it's barely lagging Microsoft in terms of how much it's up this year. So with Intel, the interesting part is this. I always look at my portfolio and go, what's the risk to reward? And the risk you can look at relative to the multiple you're paying. And with Intel, you're paying about 1x book value if you exclude their investment in Mobileye. And so, and for comparison purposes, a company like Micron that does memory that's running negative gross margins is trading at about 1.7x book. So you don't have to get a whole lot right for Intel to do well. And in addition, they're probably going to announce some very large foundry customers sometime before the end.
Guys, I called this earlier this month as far as why I went into the investment Intel. One, I'm touching the grass of all sectors of AI. I'm not big on C3 AI as far as a play, but like I said, it's doing its thing. But as far as being the invested in the creator of the chip, Nvidia, Microsoft, because like I said, Microsoft isn't just an AI play. These are creators and producers of what runs AI, right? Then you've got programmers like Intel. That's why that was my next maneuver. But these are all in the same basket, right? What's that basket, we might ask? Tech.
And this year, and those foundry customers could include Nvidia or Amazon, where both the CEOs of Amazon and Nvidia talk positively about Intel. We'll see if it works or it happens. But you know, you look at the results for Intel, they beat the March quarter, raised. Now they've beaten the June quarter, raised the forward numbers again. And I think the September quarter numbers are imminently achievable. And they're going from being completely washed out relative to AMD and Nvidia to now not being as washed out. And then hopefully by next year, late next year, they'll get into a better competitive position. And so that's what will make the multiple go from 1x book to something a lot bigger than that, especially if they keep beating numbers.
So I was also a little surprised. I mean, Oracle is another one of your favorite, well, it's apparently your favorite software play. I'm a huge Larry Ellison fan, but I hadn't really looked at the stock closely lately. What's going on?
Well, with Oracle, it's one of these things where everybody knows Oracle for their database business. Well, the nice thing with that is if you're familiar and you use their database, you kind of can look at their cloud offering and say, hey, they're actually doing some interesting things there. Don't forget, they hosted TikTok in the US, and they're now becoming a credible number 4. Amazon's obviously number 1 with 33% market share. Then comes Microsoft at 25 and Google at 10. But Oracle's now at about 2% share. AI is about that Oracle cloud business is almost 10% of their revenues, but it's growing at 40 to 50% a year. And so that gets very interesting. Remember, we talked about Azure growing at about 26, 27%. But this thing trades at 21 times.
Guys, I just want y'all to hear the percentages that are going on in tech. Guys, and like I say, this is why I say every single time, if you feel if there's too many emotions that are bent behind AMC, I will continue to say it. You need to deleverage and have, of course, still holding your AMC, but there's money that can be allocated elsewhere as far as these tech plays where you can be picking up 30, 40, 50, 100, 200%. The greatest generational wealth transfer is occurring right now. You don't leave one golden bone just because you got one that we're counting as a golden bone. That is not a smart strategy.
It's at a market
We don't run on hope.
Microsoft's at 33 times or so. Right. So you're getting a nice valuation for an interesting company that people may start to value more highly over time.
Hey, Dan, I got 30 seconds. Just a general assessment on the overall market and the idea of us still going into recession before the year is over.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. The good and the bad is the same thing. You have 60% more job openings than people unemployed. It makes any recession you get likely to be shallow, but it's also going to keep inflation high because you have 60% more jobs than people unemployed. That's why you're seeing all these strikes in Hollywood, in UPS, in the airlines, and everywhere else. And so I think people will be surprised at inflation. Yes, it's come down a lot, but it's going to stay at higher levels for longer, making the Fed stay at higher levels for longer.
Dan, great stuff. Congratulations. You've been killing it, my man. Talk to you again real soon.
We managed, Dan. We managed, Dan. You didn't say too much to piss us off there, guys. But like I said, the whole key that everybody should understand is the simple fact of this. You've got to be, especially with investing, able to look at the bigger picture. If you think that these companies like Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, Intel, Path, who am I leaving off? You know the bankers I scream every single day, are going to be worth less now than they will be in the next 3 years. I'm about to go ahead and call you bluff and say you might be a little delusional. We are moving towards a tech era. Not only are we in the greatest generational wealth transfer to ever occur, we are also in an era switch. This is how these things happen, where there's a reset. This happened the same thing when they went from horse and wagon to the Model T Ford, when they went from pagers and beepers to cell phones. When there's a shift in how the world is going to move, you have a reset. You have the FUD that's right in the background, but you got to look past and understand, one, we're not imploding tomorrow. America's not not going anywhere. You can see obviously why we are the strongest economy in the world. Now you got to start playing on the tip of, all right, what do you see coming along? What things are you seeing outside on the day-to-day that you're like, okay, all right, yeah, it might be coming. If you're not seeing at these gas stations where they're reducing the amount of employees and you self-checking out, if you're not going into Publix, or not going to Walmart and you're not seeing the self-checkout lines taking over the mass majority of it, you're not paying attention to what is going on. Just that simple. But guys, let's double tap down and get down to our AMC play. Obviously, guys, we've been dealing with some fraudulence. Yesterday was a doozy of a day. Today was still yet another doozy of a day. Stock still holding against these supports that we use in our tech. Like I said, guys, we only use about 20% technical analysis. The rest is the sentiment. Everybody knows the background, the court case, and the fraud that's going on with AMC. You can't run this by technicals, but it is, kind of cool to kind of utilize that things when you're seeing that it's bouncing off those keynotes. Like I said, I had $4.52 marked as the strongest support, and obviously it's been bounced off of that not only yesterday but today. So it's seeming like we're forming double bottoms, which is a bullish thing. But like I said again, guys, they can hit that fraudulosa one like they did, because we shouldn't be anywhere near this price point anyways. But it's good to see that we're holding up there. Like I said, everybody had their eyes on it all day, popping up from 467 down to 454. 454. Guys, these are this is the time where you need to, analyze what you're doing. You need to have a plan for what's going on, because like I said, we're moving in. We're 6 days out from our earnings. This is about to be one of the most volatile weeks coming in next week and week after that y'all have experienced at AMC. And like I said, all we're hoping for now is that there's a bottom, our bottom's hit. Guys, they pulled us down from $8 off of the slingshot, which should have occurred. We are at the FUD from Adam Aaron bringing out in the midst of the court case that there's a possibility of bankruptcy. We're far from that. And it's not going to happen anytime soon. Definitely not for a squeeze word to occur. Almost seems illegal, because it seems like that's against the judge's wishes. You're affecting the price of stock. People get on Elon Musk's case, but AA can come out here and literally do things. I mean, if it's not blatant how much of a rogue CEO AA is, if you are voting yes still, if you're still in that component, like I said, we don't judge everybody gets to have their own opinions, but at some point you got to say, what CEO comes out and starts bashing their stock when their stock's running 70%? What CEO does that? Well, who does that? Hey, but tell me what's happening, guys. Let's pull it on through. Guys, shares available. We're looking at 60,000 at 148%. Guys, irrelevant. We know the cost of borrow is well over 1,000. They've just pulled some type of trickery. And like I said, I believe that the responsibility of this would be what they call stock loan substitution, where they use the options chain to mitigate and hide the cost to borrow. Y'all should go look up. I put a video up about that. Just go in the videos and type in stock loan substitution. I think it's in the title. But this is all fraud. There's no way for this to slice. We were just at 2 days ago, 1,000 cost of borrow and rising. You mean to tell me that the cost of borrow now is dropping down to 148, which still again is insane, but not as insane as 1,000, right? We're still sitting up here. Cost of borrow dropping, but yet we're going on 23 days on being on the threshold list. 23 days where they've had failed deliveries which they couldn't cover because there's no shares available. Guys, hey, it don't take a brain scientist. I'm not falling for the tomfoolery. I'm not falling for tricking. Like I said, I deleveraged and put myself in a position to where I have enough to where I don't want to see it happen, but it's not enough in my portfolio where if they took this to zero, it would just break me as it was when I was, let's say, a year and a half ago or a year and about 9 months ago. And this has put me in the best point in time frame to be able to diamond hand things and be able to sit in the face of adversity and be like, hold up. Oh, really? I'm just sitting up there looking at the stock and just flipping off and going in that long term because, like I said, those techs was making me happy today. All right, pulling on through, guys. Last little note down here on this is that we're looking at a 57.6% short percentage. That's all false, guys. They are sending 100% of buying volume into the dark pool, and that's why you're seeing that after at the end of a day where they're pushing it down, you'll see that green rebound. Those are buy orders, things like that, and it's still not even anywhere near a subsequent amount of buy orders they're going through. We've been here long enough. Everybody knows this. Double tapping in further. Cost of borrow is dropping, but yet here we are climbing up again to all-time highs at short interest for not only AMC but APE, which is crazy. I don't know what's going on with the APE thing. AMC AMC sitting at estimated short interest of 29.39%, guys. We're just shy of 30% cost of borrow, and that will be an all-time high. We were asking for it, and she's blessing us with it. Days to cover still sitting at 7.82, which again is false. We've been sitting at this number for the longest. Short interest can't be rising while days to cover is sitting stagnant while being on the threshold list. Cost to borrow percentages, this is through Ortex. This earlier day was around 255%. We're seeing that they're able to get them now around 148%. Utilization sitting at just under 80%, which is still a massive utilization. Not our all-time highs, because like I said, guys, we've all seen that we've been near 100% utilization. This is just going to show you that we're sitting in a algo trade right now. There is nothing going on. There's not pressure. There's not deep pressure. All the price movement you're seeing is just the swapping and moving of synthetics. They're not buying these shares that they're getting up. There's speculation that it's probably Adam Aaron, loaning out his shares. Obviously, people that haven't turned off sharing, they're scooping those shares. People might be accepting those cost bars, but you can't, complain. If people are getting offered 200, 300%, $12,000 a month to borrow shares, $1,000 a day. Hey, I'm not gonna knock the next man. Like I said, obviously I want them to hold it, but hey, at the end of the day, this stock thing is about making money. So I'm not gonna look at somebody and tell them, oh, you're a fool for taking $1,000 a day. Hey, excuse me, not finna do it to you. Not finna do it to you. Do I want you to do it? No, but hey, I understand. Pulling on through. Oh yeah, before we go there, let me go and double tap over here. Cost of borrow average was 320%. Cost of borrow max 320% as well. APE sitting at all-time high. APE is now sitting at 18.34% shortage, guys. This is insanity, and it's making me question. So they're shorting. They're using everything to their means as far as being able to try to break up money to be able to hold and play money and play the board of AMC. They're now shorting APE, which lets you know, one, the hope that they have for APE, but they're shorting APE and making money off as it falls, guys. There's expectation for APEs to go down to $1 and below. And like I said, I've had the expectation anyways, because APE is not anything. That was just a fraudulent move they used to try to stop our AMC play. And we all know that. Pulling on through, guys. Let's see what this was. Oh yeah. In shocking turn of events, it looks as though AMC call options look so strong a few days will now expire worthless. And this is another keynote of why I noticed that they were pushing for that 460, that 450 range. And it all ties in. This lets you know, guys, that they're literally just frauding. This is not people selling. This is not point where you be like, everybody's jumping ship. Guys, they frauded down so they didn't get caught with those options plays that were deep in the money. They pushed it to where these things just barely expired worthless. And like I said, one is the fraud of it all is why we sit here and we fight for this at the end of the day. It's just because it absolutely gets to my bones to sit up here and say, one, we've learned a lot about a stock. We learned SEC is not who you think they are. GG is not for you, because this is blatant, blind, and wide open. I shouldn't even say blind. This is blatant and wide open. Everybody can see what's going on. We even see their moves. They're so desperate. It's not even like it's something where it's shocking. Like the same with on Monday, how we saw that. I had the interpretation they were going to try to hit it on Monday because of how the foam was coming in. Guys, we've been here too long. We know their next moves. Now, what is crazy and something to think about is how they're going to play next week, and then what are you going to play when you come out with a positive earnings beat? Hey, are you going to drop out some more FUD? Guys, they're trying to get this thing set up, one, so they can save from those call options, but they want to set themselves with a nice cushion, because like I said, I'm personally believing that we're going to have some decent price action upwards and gains as far as moving towards the upside when we get closer to that earnings. One, not only for the buy the news, sell the buy the rumor, sell the news aspect of it, but also the fact that everybody is having these expectations that AMC is going to beat. They've been having box office slappers, Barbie, all these things that are coming out that are destroying as far as box office, setting new records. Earnings is going to be above what they were. So, we've got that in the back end. This is one thing that everybody needs to be on the watch out. This is what you need to have your eyes peeled and have a plan for. Moving on through. Tesla execs hold a market entry talk with Nvidia, with India investment agency. Guys, we all know that Tesla's getting on the pre-move and now moving to India as far as selling those Teslas. Guys, we've got a lot of money moving through Tesla in the day, around 430 basis points up to 266, sitting below that 270 range, guys. And like I said, the whole point I made on Thursday's video was that don't get lulled by the fact that you said, oh, nothing's happening in a couple days. Guys, we are 5 to 10% away from all-time highs. You got to remember that now. What date was that was on? On the 19th, We were almost breaking through 300 before seeing this massive sell-off. There was a company won by FOMC meeting news, rate hike news, things like that. But we saw Tesla hold. I said anything above that 250 range is bullish, bullish, bullish. And we forming that bottom. We're holding above that 260 range and moving towards that 270. This is all bullish, bullish, bullish. I keep telling everybody back when it's around 250 that, hey, the time is now as far as loading the boat, buying some more of these stocks. If you haven't, averaging in, going on your Webull. If you haven't, go click that link in the description. Go get us both some shares. But also, Webull allows you to do fractional shares. There's more apps. I'm not sure exactly what all apps, but that's the app that I use as far as my swing trades, but also something if I want to go and do fractional buying of things, right? But slowly going in, $20. You can't tell me that you don't have $20 or $50 you can put in at the on a paycheck. I don't want to hear it. You can, and if you really wanted your future, you would. I don't want to hear, oh, but that'll put me. All right, hey, you might have to ramen noodle it. Hey, it's a short-term game for long-term victories. The choice is yours. The choice is yours. Nvidia sitting up at 467, looking beautiful. Let me see where we're looking at as far as all-time highs. Yep, all-time high Nvidia was at 480. Guys, we're sitting down here at 467 on Nvidia. Spiking back up. We saw that hold down there near 240. Oh, was it 443 and climb back up. I told y'all people, do not put your doubt against tech. I'm heavy tech, and this is why that portfolio is running like with Tootsie. Moving on through. Let's see here. We got that. Bang-a-langa, guys. What we love to see, guys. Y'all are seeing the news about XRP ramping up. Everybody's starting to get faster. Everybody's starting to get a little FOMO action going in, and just seeing one XRP lead not only the run for crypto as far as passing the SEC, but also you're starting to see how real this implementation thing is. Everybody was assuming, okay, yeah, XRP, it'll be like 3 years down the line. That's what I was planning for. Guys, this is coming way sooner than we expected. XRP, XLM, XDC, scoop them. The time is now. Ripple of what is it over? Just in over 4,000 U.S. banks are in talks to partner with Ripple and use XRP to facilitate payment transaction. Ripple effect: over 4,000 U.S. banks poised to embrace Ripple following XRP court triumph. Guys, I love how they keep throwing the Ripple thing in. It's real clever. But guys, this is the game changer. If you're not holding crypto, there's no excuse. I got a video in my crypto playlist, one describing what XRP is and how it works, and then two, where to buy XRP. Uphold is who I've been using the whole time. I know now that you can buy from everywhere, Coinbase. I'm sticking with Uphold just because they were there through the times when it was rough. They were there through the snow. They were there through the wind, through the turbulence. I'm riding with them. It's a smooth interface, and I also have on that video how to move it to a cold storage wallet. If you're buying into crypto, especially any XRP, XLM, XDC, and you're holding on to exchange, you're going to learn a real swift lesson, guys. If it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. This cold storage wallet, I recommend the Ballot wallet. I love using it because it's a physical wallet. Until you bring it online, there's no way of it getting hacked. You still would, I recommend, like Lou says, a Faraday bag just to keep it all safe. I go a little step further and say buying, I got a link in the description, a little cheap laptop that I bought that I use for sending and doing my transactions, because I don't plug even into this bad boy. And like I said, these are very safe servers. I don't get any exposure, anything on this, but you want to have even a further step, because I'm not playing games with my yacht. I refuse. Next recommendation, Ledger Nano X. That's a banger. That lets you hold your XDC, XLM, and a variety of other coins. It's a little bit further as far as what you can hold on it. But like I said, still that Faraday bag. And those two are my two top recommendations right now. And that's just who I have my favorite for, guys. But like I said, just coming in with a quick one, want to tap in, don't want to be way too long. But like I said, we got a lot of stuff busting and breaking. You got steam on your AMC. You got your tech sector rallying, which I put in the last video. Tech is about to get ready to do that next leg up. Everybody, oh, tech. It went from, oh, it's over to, oh, now people are like, oh, yeah, look who's still up. Look who's still up green through all the red. Yeah, that's right. Big tech. Put some tech with your tech so you can have some tech. I like a little stir with it. Throw a little extra tech on top of it just to get a little techy. You hear me? Guys, much love to y'all. I'm glad that y'all are enjoying the videos. I'm glad for all the support. Y'all are making a dream come true. Guys, we're in this thing together. We are family. This is the Money Mafia. We move as a mafia. No one left behind. We're going to continue bringing bangers. We're going to continue bringing information as soon as it comes out, guys. Much love to y'all. And y'all boys already know what's next, don't you? You already know what's next. I'm going to hit y'all with some good music as well. Yes, sir.